Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Erika coming to you today on what I think is a very exciting day. And this is January 20th when I'm recording this video. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about Pluto entering Aquarius. Today's date has been a very anticipated date when the Sun and Pluto both enter Aquarius, obviously 0 degrees Aquarius, within the same day. This is a big deal for not only our own personal journeys, but literally the world at large. This has been a highly anticipated and talked about era. We will talk about that in this particular video, where I'm going to talk about the next several months, especially like 2024. I mean, this is Pluto is the planet of transformation. It is a very slow moving planet that has a 260-ish, don't quote me on that, 200 and something year cycle to go through all of the signs. So when Pluto enters a sign, it's a period of time of about 20-ish years that it stays in that area. And when Pluto enters a sign, it is responsible for the whatever that sign applies to, undergoing massive transformation. And the transformation relates to the sign that it's entering. So Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. So when we talk about Capricorn energy, that is the energy of structure. It's the energy that represents structures, institutions, businesses, government. And when Pluto has been transiting from 2008 through now, through Capricorn, that's the area that's been basically highlighted in terms of transformation. And we actually got a glimpse of Pluto entering Aquarius back in 2023. I want to say between like March through June-ish. Pluto did enter Aquarius briefly, but then started retrograding and went back into Capricorn. And then is now, when it's stationed direct, it's now back, finally re-entering Aquarius. Now, I'm just going to give you a couple key dates, so that's going to anchor this conversation here today. I will be doing an extended for this video, by the way, where I'm going to talk about this particular influence over the divine masculine and the divine feminine. That's going to be in an extended for those interested, but this is going to be more of a general, what do we need to know? What does it mean for the ascension of the planet and the transitions we're all going through globally and personally? So what we've got going on this year is January 20th. This is when the Sun and Pluto both enter Aquarius. Now, Pluto is, again, the sign of transformation. And when we move into the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius in general represents a bit of rebellion. Aquarius represents expansion, very much like the intellect, technology. Aquarius is very much interested in humanitarianism, globalism, expansion. So Aquarius is kind of I want to say quirky energy, but it's what's the brilliance of Aquarius. So Aquarius doesn't really play by everyone else's rules. And so when you can imagine the planet of transformation and rebirth, Pluto enters a rebellious, don't play by the rules kind of energy. It's a real opportunity for expansion, innovation, new things when it comes to technology, when it comes to health, when it comes to healing, when it comes to really bringing the world together and thinking outside of, me, but like, what about us? Who are we as a humanity and who are we as a global community? That is the area that's really poised for incredible transformation over really the next 20 years and how it relates to structures, institutions, governments, things like that. So we all know what's going on in the world these days and everything's been leading up to this. And some of the key dates for this year. So January 20th is when Pluto enters Aquarius. Now, on May 2nd, Pluto is going to again retrograde. And it's going to retrograde back through Aquarius up until September 1st when it re-enters the sign of Capricorn. So it's like we make some forward movement and some advancement in Aquarius, but then Pluto does kind of revisit the themes of Capricorn. And that retrograde begins September 1st. So from September 1st to October 11th, Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn. Now on October 11th, Pluto stations direct again, but it will be in the sign of Capricorn. And then we'll again continue to go forward all the way until the 19th of November, which case it re-enters Aquarius direct, and then it's going to stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So that's a big deal. So we're kind of like back and forth a little on the transition energies over the next, I'd say, 11 months at this point. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this because what can we expect in this time frame? And I've already started speaking a little bit about the influences of Pluto and then Aquarius and Capricorn. But what I'm going to do here is just start pulling some cards so we can shape the discussion. But this is going to be a time where we see major, major changes. And literally, it's almost as though everything that we have come to count on when it comes to structures and the way things work are basically all going to be changing at a foundational level. This isn't like we're going to take an existing structure like the financial world, the way governments work, things like that, and just tweak it a little bit. This is like complete overhaul energy. So what I want to do is just start speaking of some of the themes that we can expect and just get some cards going here in terms of what this means. So we're talking radical transformation, not only for ourselves, but for the world. And this is going to come with its challenges, with its intensity. You know, people don't really like change very much. Yet change is necessary to evolve and to grow and to make things a heck of a lot better. And I know many of us are excited for that to happen, even though, you know, it's going to come with its challenges. So let's start just talking about some of the themes related to Pluto being in Aquarius. What do we want to just kind of talk about here? Ooh, here we go. Starting out with, let's just go right to it. Deceit. This is a card that speaks of illusion, deceit, darkness behind the scenes, the dark presenting itself as the light, false light presenting itself. This is something that is going to be transforming. Truths are going to be revealed. No longer are we going to live where hidden dark, even blatant dark energies, deceitful energies, manipulative energies can operate. That stuff's got to go, you know, manipulation, darkness. And it's interesting. This is actually the card 23, which adds up to a 5, which is all about change and transition. Not an accident that this is coming up. So in this deck, this is my card that I don't like it. It totally gives me the creeps, the heebie-jeebies, but it's because of what it represents and the way that it's depicted in this card. So yes, this is part of what is going to be transforming. It will not be able to be hidden. And when it can't be hidden, it loses its power. When the truth is the truth is the truth, and the light represents the truth and clarity, deceit is not going to be able to exist in the way it has for many, many, many years. And here we have it. We have journey. We're ready to pack our bags, take what we need, and we're going forward into a new territory. To me, this is about we're ready to go forward out of where we've been living in illusion, where we may have been not honest with ourselves about what we are what we are, what's the word that's eluding my brain right now? What we have been putting up with, what we have been experiencing. And many people might feel like they're getting ready to go somewhere new. And they're kind of just waiting for the right time. This is a time where if you've been thinking about going somewhere else in your life, whether this is a career path change, whether this is moving to a new location, whether this is, you know, going forward into the next adventure, this is what's going to be transforming here. Many people are going to be shifting gears. There are many professions actually with these transitions that are going to be changing radically and may even be eliminated. And I'm not even speaking about the artificial intelligence piece of this. I'm speaking more in general when we begin to see the way that the structures have been enslaving people and operating from a false sense of power that humanity has accepted at face value because we're told that this institution or this thing has power over us, and they really don't. But because we don't question it, we don't rebel against it, we just kind of keep going along. It's like perceived, it's the energy of somebody who walks into the room and says, I'm in charge, I'm the boss, here's what we have to do, here are the rules of this room. But it's like, who gave that person the authority to tell us what to do? Is kind of what is going to be coming up. So what other themes do we have here around Pluto entering Aquarius? The angel of balance in the reverse. So what this is saying is anything that's been out of balance, anything that's been too much in one direction, this is about extremes. We may experience a number of extremes through this transition because, again, people don't like change. We may feel when the change happens that things are off balance because, think about it, we definitely feel comfortable with the familiar. We feel comfortable with the structure. And just because something feels comfortable doesn't mean that it's the right thing for us. It just means that it's familiar. And so there's going to be a lot of, it may feel like a lot of extremes over the next period of time, especially as things begin to change. So I want to share a vision I was getting in meditation prior to turning on the camera. I completely forgot to tell you at the start of this. I was shown a vision of signals being broadcast out, and the signals being broadcast out are from very powerful light workers. And they showed the signals like a radar, right, being broadcast out. And then I was shown many of these signals all across the earth, all broadcasting the signals at the same time, where it's like suddenly there's going to be a new signal energetically, spiritually radiating over the earth. And with this signal, what that's going to do, it's like it's going to be impacting everybody. And it's almost as though there's information, energetic downloads people will be getting that are coming and emanating from those that are in their balance and in their mission to spread the light. But again, this was less about the light and more about the signal. And what I was feeling from the vision I was getting was this feeling like all of these sort of beacons have been placed all around the earth. And a lot of the beacons literally are people that are emanating very truthful, positive light, information and know kind of where we're going. And all of a sudden it's like they're all going to come online and start broadcasting this signal everywhere. It's like they've been positioned everywhere for this time where they're suddenly going to start broadcasting the signal. That's the vision I was getting. It was interesting because they did show it as almost like communication towers, but it wasn't like the sort of dark sort of this number G towers, it was more communication. I felt like it was communication signals going out. And then, of course, I felt that it also was people, but there was something very interesting where it was like all of a sudden, from all over, it was all like a coordinated effort. Is what I was feeling and seeing. So that kind of may play into this in some way, however that resonates for you. So what are going to be some of the exciting developments during this time with Pluto entering? And I'm, this is a 20-year cycle, so I'm not speaking just of the 20 years. I'm speaking mostly of this year. So what is something that's really important for us to understand about the positive developments, the exciting developments that will come with this transit of Pluto entering Aquarius? Man holding a coin. So this is like the King of Pentacles energy. So this is the masculine essence in physical form. So this can be people in charge, authority, family, commitments. So when we have the man holding a coin, he's showing up upright, this is a benevolent leader. This is someone who is responsible for the people that they're responsible for. Like if you think of a father figure, the father is responsible for protecting the family and being a benevolent leader. He didn't come in like this, right? This is what we've been seeing all over the world is leadership, people in positions of authority that are not benevolent and don't have the best interests of humanity in their hearts. Because a lot of them are lacking heart, I'm just saying. So what other positive energies exciting developments will we see? Oh, the all tied up, interesting, in reverse. This is where we may discover financially as well. That's also the man holding a coin is financially. Things may improve. We may get unstuck. We might begin feeling abundant. The all tied up in reverse means we're no longer acting prisoners. Remember I was saying at the beginning or earlier in this video, I was talking about how people are, the perception that they are being controlled because they're just consenting to being controlled. This all tied up. I always say this about this card. This lady is all gussied up and she's pretending like, look, I can't do anything. I'm tied up. Meanwhile, she's like acting the victim. She's pretending she's tied up because she's kind of looking like she's not really helpless, but she's pretending to be. So when it comes in the reverse, this to me is indicating, again, we are no longer going to be bound and tied up and acting like we can't make change, or that we can't be successful, or that we need to stay in a living situation or a relationship or a career path that maybe, isn't bringing us the fulfillment we want. What other positive developments, exciting developments can we expect here? Oh, love it. Indecision. Which path to choose, left or right? Red pill, blue pill. Being stuck at a crossroads, that's changing. No longer being stuck at a crossroads. We're going to go either one way or the other. And I've been talking about this. A lot of people have been discussing this for years, where when we move into New Earth consciousness, there's going to be free will choice. I did a video. Where did I do that? Where did I talk about free will? Oh, it was on my podcast. By the way, I've restarted my podcast where I share a lot of channelings that I do on the podcast that I don't share elsewhere. And one of the recent ones I did, I think it was the last episode I posted, there was a lot of discussion about free will and what that means. And many people are going to be having a choice. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to stick with the old? Do you want to go with the new? Are you going to change? Or are you going to stay where you're at? I mean, people are going to have free will choice, what they want to do. So that's a real beautiful development, because when you see what's coming in reverse, it's the indecision and being stagnant, being bound, being helpless. That is what is changing, and it's coming in with this upright. So what we have is, this is where our internal masculine energy within us, our inner authority to do, to act, to protect, is going to take on a new level. It's like the sacred masculine on earth has arrived. and is going to start playing out more and more. We have been living in the distortion of masculinity and masculine energy and patriarchy for eons. And it is time now for the sacred masculine to show what he can do. Very, very powerful for the planet. There's a reason that the powers that be that have been trying to control have been trying to emasculate true masculine energy, eradicate true masculinity from the planet, because the masculine can't be controlled. The divine masculine cannot be controlled. Divine masculine is the benevolent leader. You know, I don't want to fight, but I will do what I have to defend those that need defending. Very, very powerful. So what are the challenges that we could expect? What might be some of the challenges that we could expect here? What do we need to be on the lookout for? Man holding a heart. Interesting. Love. Offering love. This is interesting because what we're seeing here is, and this has been coming up a lot in my readings, both for the collective as well as for my personal readings I'm doing. If you are interested in a reading, there is a link down below. I've opened up to a limited number of readings, personal readings, if you're interested. And if you've already ordered one, they're on their way. There's going to be about a 2-week turnaround, but you probably will get it before the 2 weeks, but just to set the expectation. But what we have happening here is the challenge is there's been a tension between doing what's responsible, but then doing what your heart is calling you to do. Interesting that it's two of the masculines coming up, both upright. So what could be challenging here is figuring out what you love. What do you want to do? Like, a lot of people are dealing with mission. It's like they may have been in a career for 20, 30 years, and now they're like, oh, I'm done with this. I know I want to do more. I want to do more to serve humanity. So again, part of the way that we can all serve humanity is doing what our passions are, what we love, what our soul really gets lit up about. There is a purpose for that. So one of the challenges will be is a lot of people are going to have a hard time because they don't know what they love anymore. They're so conditioned to doing what they're supposed to do. They're so conditioned to doing what's responsible. I need to pay the bills. I need to take care of this. I can't break out of what I'm doing. Like, if I'm going to start all over and learn an entirely new thing that I really want to do, I don't know how I'm going to make money. So that's going to be difficult for people because a lot of people have also not been connected to their heart. They've closed their hearts. A lot of the masculines have closed their hearts. What else could be challenging about this? Again, cornucopia in the reverse. I feel like one of the challenges coming up for this, I'm going to get another card. Ooh, the first chakra. Upright, Archangel Michael. One of the changes that's going to be occurring and that's going to be challenging potentially is in the area of finance and abundance. Because if you think about it, if we're talking about financial systems and structures around the world, banking systems, things like that, shifting, it could bring about this feeling that there's no abundance. However, because Archangel Michael is here upright, which is all about stability and security, and he's upright. So what we have here is this is going to be a challenge for people. We have both Michael and the man holding a heart upright and the cornucopia in between. So what I'm getting from this very strongly is one of the challenges coming in with this transition of Pluto and Aquarius is going to be, am I safe? Am I secure to do what I love? Am I safe and secure to offer love to somebody? I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if there's going to be abundance. Again, Archangel Michael is the quintessential divine masculine energy. And what's challenging is the trust in that. The trust is, will I be secure and safe if I follow my heart? If I listen to my heart, if I let my heart and my intuition guide me. So I'm going to get a card on this cornucopia card. Tell me about this cornucopia in reverse. I'm just going to get another card from it. Oh, this one's popping out. Here we have the full moon in Pisces, balancing spirituality and practicality. Wasn't that what I was just talking about? Where it's like Pisces energy is the dreamer, the idealist, like the romantic. And what is it that I love? What is my heart telling me to do? Who do I love? What does my heart want? But then how do I make it a tangible reality? You know, you can't just live in your dream space all the time. However, people are going to be undergoing massive emotional shifts. And when we are losing think about it, when we're losing some of the structures that have given us a sense of security and stability and comfort, right? Living situations, career paths, things we've learned, things we know. When that gets shaken up, then we may feel this sense of ungroundedness. And again, this is going to be a time where there may be a lot of things we have taken as truth, as this is the way things are. Even when it comes to things that we consider to be science and fact, we may discover that some of the things that we have based our entire belief system about are not the way we've been told. And this is going to be extremely unnerving for people. Yet what's going to happen as this challenge is to find that sense of security amongst the changes. Tell me about Archangel Michael here for the challenge as well. Have faith in your dreams. Okay? We are going to be challenged to stay positive and to stay trusting the divine. Because look at what these two coming in together. We've got the root chakra and the crown chakra. Look at all the purple, right? Have faith in your dreams. Know that you are secure, and not to let anything make you doubt that this is possible. And I think what I'm going to do now is just kind of pull another, like a final guidance message for this part of the reading. And in the extended, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the effect of, you know, this upcoming movement into Pluto, into Aquarius, what that's going to do for the collective divine masculine and the divine feminine. Collective. Not even specific to love, but obviously love is a piece of it. But we are all embodiments of masculine and feminine energies, and all play a different role in the world. And we have a period of time that's going to be an incredible transformation on the earth for the next 20 years. And it is imperative that very strong, solid, ascended, and Christ consciousness individuals come together and work together to literally change the world for the better. Definitely for the better. So I'm going to get a guidance message. What's most important right now for the viewers of this video to understand about this time? What is the guidance? Oh, here we go. Wow. There it is. This is what I was just talking about as the challenge. Co-create. This is about remembering that you are a co-creative being, that you can create your reality and your truth. This year is going, in particular, or this entire period is going to be a movement into humanity understanding that we are far more powerful than we have been led to believe. and that we can create our experience. There are those people that are going to go through this time and struggle immensely because they feel that they are not in control, they're not empowered, and the world is happening to them, and they are going to be the victim, play the victim. But their opportunity is to remember that they can co-create their experience. There are plenty of people that are going to go through this time abundant, excited, untouched by some of the changes going on. And so this is why many of you have been preparing with your soul growth journey, with your ascension journey, to remember your power. So I'm going to read what the guidance is here. The co-create card is number 40. Again, a 4, which is about stability and structure. So the guidance message before I head to the extended. It's about creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. Isn't that what I was talking about with Aquarius, right? Aquarius is a unique, not play by the rules person, but also very humanitarian and concerned with people outside of themselves. And that's exactly what that sentence just said. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. And when you view your life as art and know that you co-create it, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. So this is where a lot of beautiful, inspiring, creative solutions are going to begin to bubble up. We're going to start to see more and more people inspired to make the world a better place, to do what their heart is calling them to do. Honestly, what their soul is calling them to do in terms of their mission. Why are they here? What are they meant to do? How are they meant to help others? Very, very, very exciting time when Pluto has gone into Aquarius. So with that, I'm going to head over to the extended. If you're interested in joining me, again, I'm going to talk about the impact of the divine masculine, divine feminine of this movement into Aquarius. We're going to kind of look at the before of like when it's been in Capricorn, and then what's going to go on this year in particular between the masculine and the feminine, in terms of how each of them are going to be empowered, what their role is going to be, and a whole bunch more. So more in depth in the extended if you're interested. And if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, I send you so much love. Bye.